Hi everyone, and welcome to my video where we're going to be going over height and width with CSS. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's going to be two main attributes that I'm going to be talking about, which is height and width. And with those two attributes comes min height and max height, along with min width and max width. So let's go into those a little bit more. So first, let's start off with what is width and height. So let's create a div here and say hello world. So here's my hello world. Let me zoom in. And then let's give it a class of my class. So here let's do, just so we can see, let's set the background color to black and the color to white. So now to set the height, we would have to specify height. So by default, you can see here that the height of this div is the same height of its content, right? So the content is, this height. So the font size is this height. And so the div is going to have that height too, with a little bit of buffer. So to set the height explicitly, let's do height. And then we can set the pixels here. So let's say that we want it to be 50 pixels. Now you can see that this is 50 pixels. Now, this is actually 50 pixels, but I'm zoomed in. So you can see that this is now set to 50 pixels. Now we can do the same thing with width. So let's set the width to 100 pixels. So you can see that now we have a 50 height by 100 width rectangle. And you can also set percentages. So it doesn't have to be pixels. So let's say that we want this to take up 50% of our 50% of our window here. So here we go. And as we make our window bigger and smaller, the height just goes with it. Same thing with the width. So now let's make this bigger and smaller, and you can see that it kind of follows it. And you can set this to like 20%. It doesn't matter. All right, so let's set this back to 50%. And now I want to show you guys how the max works with max height and max width. So let's do max width. So right now, our div here is going to have the maximum width of 50% of the window, right? We can actually change this to, let's say 75%. Right? So right now it's at 75%. Let's set the max width to be 100 pixels. So here you can see that it's still 75%, right? But then once we start exceeding 100 pixels, that's it. The max width stops right there. So the same thing can be applied with the height. So now let's do the same thing but with min width. So let's first delete this. We don't have to delete it, but just so that you guys can see it easy. So right now we have 75% width, right? So let's set min width. Let's set the minimum width to be 100 pixels, right? So right now, okay, let's save that and refresh. So right now it's 75%, and as we continue to go here, you can see that at this point right here, it's no longer getting smaller because this has reached 100 pixels. Now let's change this to 200 pixels. Okay. So right now its minimum width is 200 pixels. So right now it's 75% up until it hits 200 pixels, and then it cannot get smaller than this. That's what min width does. And the same thing applies for min height. So anyway, I hope that you guys learned something new today about width and height and how to implement them. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.